Effie.
And I'm Coral, and we are young volunteers at Helston Museum. Today we're celebrating Helston Makes It.
Helston Makes It is a 2-week event this September where different makers show their skills and crafts.
We are going to be interviewing Sarah, who makes Dorset Buttons.
She is going to be showing us how to make them, and we are going to have a go.
Yeah. So,
Hello.
Sarah, what are Dorset Buttons?
Well, I've got some here that I made before. They're originally a country craft that was practiced in Dorset, making buttons for clothes. The earliest ones were called high tops. So this would be made of material with embroidery on the top. Then there were singletons, which were made around a circle of sheep's horn with material and edged. But the one we're going to make today is a traditional Dorset cartwheel. Now, traditionally, they would be made in white or black and much smaller. We're making them more colourful because we're doing it for fun. So they were around until the 1850s when cheap tin buttons were made in the Industrial Revolution. So they're Dorset buttons.
How long have you been making them, and how did you learn?
I've been making them probably about 15 years now, and I originally learnt from following a trip to a museum. I went to Dorchester Museum in Dorset, and they've got quite a big selection, although there are some here in Helston that you can look at. And they also had a leaflet which showed you how to learn. So I learnt from paper. Now you can go online. There are lots of videos on YouTube, and in fact there'll be one here soon. So that's how I learnt.
How long does it take to make each button?
It depends on how big it is and how thick the thread. You would think that the little tiny ones would take less time,
Yeah.
but actually they take longer because it's a very fine thread and quite fiddly. The quickest ones will be this. They probably take me about half an hour, but when it was an industry, people were expected to make about 6 dozen a day.
6 dozen.
A day.
That's a lot.
Long hours, I think,
Yeah.
as well, yeah.
What do you use them for?
Well, back in that period, there were fewer fastenings for clothes. They didn't have zips, didn't have Velcro, so they were mainly used as fastening for clothes. You'd button up dresses, you'd button up jumpers, and we've got them now, but the Victorians in particular had a lot of buttons on their clothes. They were ornamental as well as being functional. Nowadays, people very rarely use buttons. You can use these, you can make them to match the clothes that you're making, or jumpers if you're a knitter, but most of the ones I make are purely for decoration, so you can make a brooch, or you can make a pendant, earrings, just using them for decoration now.
So, can you show us how to make them?
I certainly can. The first thing that you need to do is to decide the size of the button or the button that you want to make. You need something that's circular. It doesn't matter. Curtain rings are usually the easiest thing to do. You can find these in charity shops. You can do them round bracelets. You can even do them round the tops of bottle tops. So that's just the plastic top of a bottle. Anything that's circular.
Okay.
So you decide on your button, and you've chosen a heavy curtain ring, which will make a nice pendant, and you've got a little tiny curtain ring, which is going to be rather sweet. Then you have to choose your thread. Now you can use anything. Some of those buttons I showed you are made of string. You can use wool. The easiest thing to start with is embroidery cotton, because it doesn't unwind as you play, and it's got lots of bright colours to choose from.
Yeah.
So you just choose the colour that you want to work with.
Alright. So we're both at different stages.
You're both at different stages, and I am too, but I will show you how you start. You take the colour of the thread that you want, and you're basically making a button stitch all the way round the ring that you've got. I'm just turning that to the outside. To start off, you want to do a big loop and then bring your thread through.
Okay.
That's your button stitch, and to start off I'm catching the thread at the beginning. You can tie off if you want, just tie it up. And you do that all the way round the whole ring. So I think that's the stage that you're at, isn't it? So show them how you do the big loop.
So I go under, and then you've got the circle bit here, and you just push it through. And make sure it's tight and at the top.
And this is the longest bit. You'd think it's very easy, but actually that is the hardest bit that you're going to have to do. Once you've got all the way round to the end,
Like Coral.
you fasten off.
Which I have done.
You have done. You've got a different thread ready now.
Yes.
But I'm going to fasten off to hold the two loops together, just with a couple of stitches into the outside knot of the buttonhole. So just a couple of stitches into that knot, and that means it'll hold. The next thing you have to do is to turn all the knots to the inside, all the way round. Now, you can make a mistake here. It's important that you keep them untwisted. If you make them twisted, it doesn't matter, because it gives it a different texture around the outside, but traditionally you bring them all to the inside. And then you have a choice, and that's the stage that you're at. You can either, which I think yours will look quite nice at, go over the outside, or you can go through the knot. So which do you think you're going to do?
I think I might go over the outside.
I think so. So I'll show you how to do that. So you go opposite, over, and then you're coming back along a little bit,
Okay.
and over again, and back, and over again, and back, and over again, and you're getting a star shape.
Like a weird star. Yeah, you've done it, I think.
Yeah. You then want to make, it's because it looks off centre, you want to make them go to the centre, so you go in to the hole at the far side, and pull really tight so that they make a wheel. And I will come and check you. I'll just fasten this if I can.
I think I've done something weird.
It's a tricky bit, that.
Because yours is so small as well.
Wait a minute, I will come and show. Let me just go through the middle. So that's what you're ending up with. Yeah. I'm going to go on. You've got it there, actually. You've got it there. But just because it's small, it's difficult to see. So this is why it's easier to do a bigger one. But there you have a star shape. You can see a star shape. Okay. And you're going to have a nice pattern because of the colour on the outside. The last thing that you need to do is, for embroiderers among you, is a spider's web stitch. You come up through one of the rings, you go forward into one hole, and then you go back, not the first one, but back two. Forward into the first hole, and back two. Forward into the first hole,
Oh, so you're actually going backwards.
and back two. You could do it either way, but it's basically forward one and back two. And what you end up with, I will do one round so that you can see. Oops. Not all. On one side, you get the knobbles on the button, and on the other side, you get a smooth round pattern. So, if you look at the buttons that I made before, you can see the smooth from round the back, and this is one that's got knobbles. This is one of the ones with string, so it's got knobbles. And it's as simple as that. And you just keep going as long as you want. If you want to do the whole button, you do the whole button. If you want it just in the middle, you do it in the middle. This one's been made by only going halfway and then back again. So they actually had lots of different designs. This is the traditional cartwheel, but they actually had lots of different designs.
Really?
And that's it.
Wow.
It's so much easier than you'd think,
Expect.
but there's difficult, almost.
It gets simpler when you do it, but
Yeah.
there are only three things that you do. It's the
Yeah.
buttonhole round the edge, then the weaving across to make a star, and then you're just weaving round the thread.
Yeah.
So if anybody comes and wants to learn how to do it themselves, we've got a button making session, and your buttons might be there for people to see how to do it.
Yeah.
If I'm finished.
You'll be finished.
Yeah.
You'll be finished.
So,
Thank you very much.
yeah.
It was a pleasure. I hope you make lots.
Yeah, I think we will.
Okay.
So that's all from us. So
Yeah.
I hope you join us next time.
Bye.